All right. Well, hello.
When you came up with the thing about Get a Life, where did that first, how did that come about? I remember when you said that's so true.
Sorry.
It's so true about Get a Life. With the
You know, I've forgotten who thought of the life. I don't know whether I could take credit for it, but vaguely in the back of my mind, we came to it. I don't remember a writer saying this is the sketch.
And I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen the new documentary that you have. Does that come in there?
Yes, I opened the documentary with the replay of the sketch.
Oh, there's a sketch based on a sketch?
No, the Saturday Night Live sketch, in which I say to those people, "Get a life." That resonated in places, and then I wrote a book, which I thought, who goes to Comic-Con, who goes to Star Trek conventions, and I sought to do interviews and do my due diligence about who comes to Comic-Con, and what characters and why. And I came to the conclusion in the book that they were there to see each other, renew friendships, and have fun. That was the conclusion of the book. But when I asked myself the question again and did a documentary about it, I arrived at a far different, much deeper conclusion based on sociology and based on mythology. And there is a far deeper, mystical, mysterious, sociological reason for people coming to Comic-Con and dressing up like the way they do. It's far deeper than people who are looking askance, whether at this table or back east of television. What are they doing in San Diego, those fools? That's not it at all.
The nerds.
The nerds.
Is it subliminal, the nerd?
Yeah,
Subliminal
but
nerd.
it's far dedeeper than that.
Well, they always
that's
said
what I hope to.
They always said the geek shall inherit the earth.
There you are, and it's the word "shall."
kind of goes along with Shatner.
Right. Shall.
Well, you've had an illustrious
Might is a word
You've had
geeks
an
might inherit.
and we darn well better. No,
Or you're a geek.
oh yeah, full blown. I love it.
I need a definition of geek.
Someone who loves and is not afraid to say, "I love pop culture. I love this genre, that genre."
You have a lot of pens like I do.
There you go. But no, your career, you've had an illustrious career.
Pencils, yeah.
You even got kind of your start in early age with Twilight Zone. I've always wanted to know, how was it to work with Rod Serling and be a part of something that was so ahead of its time?
Big time.
Well, that's hindsight. At that moment, everybody was struggling to make a living, including Rod Serling. Nobody knew. Nobody knows that those things happen. I'm reading a book that's about 10 years old about how everything exists in a critical state. It's just waiting to be tipped over by some occasion. And it can be a minor occasion that tips it slightly, or it can be a minor occasion that tips it and makes an avalanche. What starts an avalanche, in effect? One snowflake is just one thing too many, and an avalanche starts. But there are many minor avalanches. What starts something that is groundbreaking? So did Serling, at that moment when he was just making the show, did he tip the balance so that everybody now looks back at that show and says, that was the defining moment? I think that's what happened. Star Trek the same way. Did Star Trek come at the precise right moment when science fiction literature was at its apex, and there were other little science fiction shows that tantalized everybody's curiosity, and then here comes Star Trek, and bang, it becomes a phenomenon, but it was just part of a groundswell.
Was it around, were you saying, personal thing. They say there's an, I'm into art a lot. There's an art renaissance in Los Angeles.
There's a what?
There's a renaissance in art in Berlin right now, and also in Brooklyn. Are you saying at that period of time, I'm a history person, is that part of a renaissance because of music in the 50s and the early 60s? You saw that. Are you saying it was kind of a renaissance?
What is a renaissance? It's just change is happening all the time, and we're in a continuous state of change, and in a critical state of change all the time. Most change, like earthquake faults, I'm quoting the book, move along these lines, and slowly the tension is there until there's a sudden release, and that's the earthquake. And that happens in every phase of human activity, history in particular. We go along, we think everything is cool, and suddenly there's a revolution, but there's a tipping point. None of that, or I should try and find a way of applying all that to get a life, and let me see if I can. All these people are coming to a comic convention or a Star Trek convention for various reasons. Their own personal reasons, and then they're imbued by a need, a need that is a general need, which has to do with mythology. It has to do with a need for explanation of their lives, and most of them don't know that's why they're here. Most of them don't know that they're in the middle of a ritual that is cultural, and that's what my documentary examines.
Well, it's a
Carl
sense.
Jung talks about.
It's a
sorry?
Carl Jung talks about it.
Carl Jung talks about it, exactly.
Well, it's
The
a sense of
unconscious.
community and a sense of belonging, which everybody strives for.
That's exactly right. It's a sense of community. That's one of the aspects of Comic-Con. Is a sense of community. You go out on the streets. I've been driving to these interviews, and did you spit in that at all?
Yes.
No, okay.
I wouldn't be so sure about that one, but
Well, she said yes. I think.
Let people, other people get questions in too.
of course.
There's a sense of community that these people you see in these restaurants, you'll see. There's an ease and a joy, a sense of pleasure out there. There's no harm in these masses of people. They're not here to riot and to throw ash cans. They're here to have fun. There's a general feeling of gentility, because everybody that's come to Comic-Con, spent their money and time to come to Comic-Con, are here for a definitive purpose. And that purpose is what I examine in Get Along.
Find that.
See? Look at that.
With the book and the documentary, is there a particular story that stands out from one of your fans that
I used different stories when I was doing the book. I went around and talked to different people. I talked to a woman. I flew to Dallas from California to talk to a woman who was had multiple personalities, different voices, all of them Star Trek. Okay? Now, whether it was real, whether it was fake, and I don't quite know, but she wasn't a well person. And she had the phenomenon of multiple. There was again from the book, there's a kid who was pathologically shy. As a cat, dressed as a cat up in the Star Trek uniform. Is verbal, voluble, keeps on talking. The moment the cat is out of his reach, he sinks back into inability to talk. There are other people that are the cast of the documentary, because I wrote the book several years ago. So there's a whole new group of people that evidence the same needs and salvations that they get from coming to a convention. And there's a kid in a wheelchair suffering from Lou Gehrig's disease. Captain Dave is his name, and in his bright blue eyes, you see the fervor for life, even though all he can do is blow into a little tube and guide his wheelchair. But he's whizzing from one panel to the other, and he's moving around at rapid, faster than anybody can walk because of his vitality to live. And things happen that will move you in this documentary.
Mr. Shatner, would you?
You mentioned the friendships and
In your documentary, Get a Life, you aptly point out that people from all walks of life turn up at these conventions. Do you think that it's because of a longing people have for something out there, something that has not
That's
been
part of it.
fulfilled?
That is
Yeah,
definitely
exactly.
a part of it. The science fiction has been spoken about as the search for God. What is out there? What is in those stars with planets that go around? The billions and billions of stars of more than likely more than one universe. It's staggering to use your imagination and to read these writers and watch these movies with great artists feeding in the background and giving you a possibility of what you would see if you were capable of doing that. You're never going to be able to do it because we can't go there. But we can go there in our imagination. And that's what science fiction is about. And that's why these people are here. That's
Thank
one
you,
of them.
everybody. Thank you so much.